My name is Cheryl Schaefer. Welcome to another episode of Veterans Helping Veterans TV. Today's show is about NPower IT training for veterans here in San Mateo. I'd like to introduce our guest, Jeanine Cowan, who's the program manager of NPower, and two students who are veterans who are currently attending the program, and they are Katie Rogers and James Rowe. So Jeanine, can you tell me how NPower was created? Who came up with this fabulous idea?
Sure. So NPower was actually started in New York about 12 years ago. And it started as they saw a need, especially in the nonprofit world, for IT support. And at the same time, they saw that there were some young adults who needed careers, and who had an aptitude for IT. So they began by training young adults in the IT field to work in nonprofits. And since then we've expanded. We have two offices in New York that serve young adults, an office in Toronto, Canada that serves young adults. Approximately 2 years ago, we opened an office in Dallas to serve veterans, and then this year we opened an office at the College of San Mateo, also serving veterans.
Now, this is the first class that's being offered in California.
First class here in California. Yeah.
How many students are in the class?
This particular class, we have 33 students, and then we'll have another class in July. Hopefully be able to serve 50 veterans in that class.
What type of courses are you teaching?
We teach what's called Cisco networking. You're able to get a CompTIA A+ certification. And if you work in that field, the IT field, all that means something to you. Everybody would know what an A+ certification is. But if you're like me and you're not really that techie, you don't really know what that means. So this is how I explain it to those people who are like me, which is, you know, at home you have the internet and some days it just goes down and you can't get it back up and you don't know why. So you call your local cable company that's providing you with the internet and you're kind of frustrated and crying and you're like, I can't get my IT up. And there's a kind, helpful, smart person on the other end of the phone who steps you through it to get your IT back up and working. That's what one of the things the students are learning to do. They're learning to be help desk support. They also learn to do things like networking. So you go into a new building that doesn't have a computer set up, doesn't have the routers, the infrastructure to have a bank of computers set up. They do all of that as well.
And there really is a huge demand for that kind of worker.
Yeah, there is a very big demand for this particular field, like networks administration, system administration, networking, help desk support. And it is an entry-level position into the IT field. It is not only a well-paying entry-level position, but the opportunities for growth and career development, they're unlimited because this field's just going to keep growing and people are just going to, you know, the demand is going to continue to be there.
Of course, because what we're really trying to do is to educate the veteran to get a career.
It's a career,
and
not a job.
Not just a job.
That's right.
So on that note, I'd like to talk to Katie. Katie, can you tell us a little bit about your military background?
Yeah, definitely. I joined the California Army National Guard 5 years ago. It'll be 6 years in November. My first job was 25 Bravo, which is Information Technology Specialist, and it gave me a handle, a little bit of a background on the IT world. So A+ certification, I have a little bit of history in that, Security Plus, Server Plus, Network Plus, all these pluses. But the military doesn't do such in-depth training as NPower. So the course that we're taking, we started in January, and it's to get the A+ certification. In the military, we did this for a week, and then we tested out and moved on to something else.
So for you, this was just a natural fit.
Oh, it was perfect.
And how did you find out about NPower?
So I signed up for a program called Work for Warriors. It is a program that helps transitioning military into careers. They help find jobs and put them in positions and help them with resume and all that. So I got an email from Work for Warriors about NPower, and I had a job, but it wasn't what I wanted to do. It was so stagnant, and I wasn't going anywhere. So I saw this as an amazing opportunity. Not only do they help you get certified in A+, but they help you with your resume. They help you with networking on Fridays instead of just doing the A+ coursework. We do more
Like professional development?
definitely professional development. How to really use all of our assets, everything that we have offered to us. We're able to kind of put that into play, and it's incredible. So.
Very good. And James, can you tell us a little bit about your military background and what brought you to NPower?
Well, sure. In 2009, I enlisted into the United States Navy, and I volunteered for submarines, and I ended up becoming a communications electronics technician. So, I mean, that basically means that I repair, fix communications masts and antennas, and monitor ships' communications. But when you're dealing with communications, that means you're dealing with computers in this day and age. So I ended up getting a lot of experience dealing with computers, and sometimes a problem would arise, which my training specifically wasn't enough to take care of the issue, and we'd call in actual ITs from the ship. And so I got to work closely with the ITs, and I kind of started to realize that I kind of liked what they were doing. I kind of liked the IT aspect of the job, fixing the computers or finding out what the issue was. So when I actually got out of the Navy, I enrolled in school, and I was lucky enough to kind of stumble upon NPower. They are stationed right now out of the College of San Mateo, which is where I enrolled. And I would just, before I knew anything about them, I just passed the sign every day. And I'm like, oh, NPower, that's an interesting name. And then eventually one day, as I was leaving the Veterans Center, somebody came up to me and they said, hey, do you know what NPower is? I'm like, no. And they told me that it's IT training. I'm like, whoa, IT training? That sounds interesting. And then I ended up running into Jeanine, and she told me a little bit more about the program, about the benefits of it. And I liked the idea of expanding my IT knowledge, actually being able to get the IT certification. That's why I went into the program. But I found, as of right now, after completing the training, after getting the A+ certification, I actually find that the career development skills are much more useful to me. There's no greater feeling than walking into an interview and feeling like I know what to do, I know how to respond, I know how to answer the questions. So it's really those skills that I didn't even know that they were as vital as they are. But it's really those skills that they helped me develop that really are helping me go further.
And I understand that recently you just started an apprenticeship program. Is that right?
I did. That's one of the greatest benefits of the NPower program. They don't just give you a certificate and send you out the door. They actually find you employment. And so again, they set you up with the interview, and you feel prepared for the interview. It doesn't feel like you're a fake interview or a mock interview. Somebody we set it up for you. Now you utilize the skills we've taught you to get this job. And I did that, and I was fortunate enough to get an internship with a company called Abode Services. Basically, I'm one of 2 ITs in charge of servicing 8 different job sites. So that's going to be a lot of experience for me that I'm going to be able to take anywhere after the apprenticeship is done. So I'm really excited about having this apprenticeship. And also, I'm excited that one of the things they're going to be working on is the complete security encryption overhaul of all of their sites. That's experience that most people don't get. And for me to be able to get that experience as an intern, that's something special, I think. So.
And really, what you're both doing is you're going after a career and not just a job. You're looking at your long-term goals. Now, I understand, Jeanine, that there is no cost for this program.
Everything is free to the veteran, and the internship is a paid internship. And they're saying, we do provide the technical training, we provide professional development, we provide case management support and the paid internship. And one thing we haven't talked about is that we also provide alumni services. So even at the point of graduation, when the internship is over, we're still connected. They still belong to us. So we provide support for another 12 months to say, hey, are you, if you're not working, we're going to work with you to get the job that you want. Or some people have actually said to me, which warms my heart, after being in this program, they're like, oh, you know what, I've decided that, I want to pursue higher education and get my degree now. So we'll also support them in getting enrolled into college. So whatever their goals are, we intend to support them for at least at a minimum of a year after the program is completed.
Well, now we know what James' goals are because he has an apprenticeship. What are your goals for your future, Katie?
Getting into the IT field has always been something that I've wanted to do, and I haven't really had the means to do it. I love the idea that it's always changing and you constantly have to be on your game and go to school and learn new things all the time. So I'm going to be going to an apprenticeship at Stanford. We're going to be the help desk. Whenever someone has a problem, I get to be that voice on the other side of the phone that says, it's okay, I'm going to walk you through it, stay with me. But in this experience, I've been offered so many other opportunities, and I know that it's just going to get better. We had a ServiceNow class, and the lady who came in and taught that class was offering jobs and helping. She's there to help, which was amazing. Such a great opportunity. And I know that for other classes that it's just going to be better. It's good. They're going to have more opportunities, more places for an apprenticeship, and I'm just really excited that I can be a part of it.
That's awesome. So both of your stories are very inspirational to other veterans. So what would you tell to veterans transitioning out of the military now? How would you persuade them that NPower is a great place to start training for a career in IT? How would you tell veterans coming out?
You have to come see it. Just everything is amazing. It doesn't just stop when you leave the classroom and you get certified. It continues on, and it's not just prep for a job, like you said, it's prepping for a career. And they really help you fine-tune your resume. They help you get a suit. They help you with your finances, a place to live, everything. So it's just incredible. It's something that you have to be a part of and really get in there.
So they kind of plug you into the system. It's not just the College of San Mateo, it's all the services that are available to veterans within San Mateo and Santa Clara counties.
Definitely.
So that's truly awesome. James, how would you persuade veterans to consider a career in IT and training through NPower?
Well, the first thing I would say is that what NPower promises, they deliver everything in spades. They tell you that they're going to train you to get the A+ certification, and come time to take the test, you're ready for the A+ certification. You're ready to pass with flying colors. And then they tell you that's just the tip. That's the tip of the iceberg. There's much more training available afterwards. And sure enough, as soon as you pass that certification, the instructor comes to you and it's like, what can I help you with now? Where do we go from here? Do you want to work on security? Do you want to work on networking? He'll open up all these avenues for you. And then also, like, I would also talk about how it's important not to let these opportunities slip by. Like, it's a completely free program. It's almost less than free because like they'll look at you and they'll ask you, like, do you need help with gas money? Are you going to be okay to get here every day? Like, there's a couple costs associated with getting the A+ certification. We're gonna take care of those for you. So you're almost making profit by like going through the program. So I would definitely say don't let the opportunity slip by.
That's great. So what would you say to encourage more veterans to participate in this fabulous program?
Obviously, I think this is an incredible opportunity. It makes me sad that more people haven't had a chance to take part in it. I'm really looking forward to it. And for me, what the biggest benefit of it is, I mean, all of it's a benefit, is the connections to the employers. We do site visits at different employers' workplaces, so the students are exposed to what it's like to work in different scenarios. Like, we've had site visits at Facebook, at Box, at Stanford. We also bring in speakers from different organizations. We have Wednesday Tech Talks, so they come in. Many of the speakers are themselves working in the tech industry, but are veterans. So they come in. They not only talk about whatever their field is, whether it's web development, cloud-based computing, security. They talk about their field of interest, but they also talk about how they transitioned as a veteran into this new field. And that, I know the students find that very inspiring. So I think the main difference between, some of the main differences, I'm going to talk for a minute. So one of the main differences, I get very excited, one of the main differences is we have a very holistic program. We're not just looking at the tech skills, we're also looking at the soft skills, which I like to say that the soft skills are actually the harder skills, the communication skills, the customer service, the interpersonal communications, teamwork. Those are the hard skills that we also teach those. We teach how to search for a job. That's a skill you need for your whole life, is how to have an effective job search. And we also do the apprenticeship. We provide that apprenticeship because even having the classroom experience, even having the certificate, it's not enough. You need real world experience. You need to know how to apply everything you did in the classroom, and employers really care about that. So then we get them the exposure to the employers through the site visits, through the tech talks, and I always tell people that I'm working with, so I brought in somebody from Symantec, I brought in somebody from Robert Half, we've brought in people from Proofpoint, from Box. We bring in these different people, and they're like, oh, yeah. Oh, Pinterest came too. We bring in these different people, and at first they're sort of like, okay, yeah, come, I'll do this talk. I'll just do something real kind of low-key. It won't have to be too advanced. But I'm saying, you better be prepared. So they said, some of the speakers have gone on to LinkedIn and looked at the LinkedIn accounts of our students, and they're like, oh my gosh, I got to really up my game. These people, they have experience, they have knowledge. And I tell people, as soon as an employer gets there and meets our students, they're sold. They're sold 100%. Like, they came in from Robert Half to do a presentation, and they were like, oh, I don't know if I want to have any apprenticeships here. They were just kind of hedging their bets, but we'll come and we'll present, because it was a veteran. He came in, he presented. They said, okay, we want 3 of them. We want 3 people now. We want 3 people to come to Robert Half. And I'm like, I understand. We have really great students. And I think finally the other thing that I'm really, really proud of, and I have to attribute it to our instructor. Our instructor is also a veteran. The national average rate for passing the A+ certification is 30%. We, at this point, have a 99% pass rate.
That is absolutely.
I know, I'm telling you.
That's amazing. It's incredible. And it's a great example of veterans mentoring this younger generation of veterans, because, that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
Really passing
So
the knowledge along.
If you want to work in the IT field and you're a veteran, this is a great entry point.
That's great. So I want to say to all the veterans out there, especially the post 9/11 veterans transitioning from the military to the civilian world, we know it's not easy. Mm-hmm. It takes a team of people that are willing to step up and offer training to you. This is one of the best examples, especially here in San Mateo, Santa Clara counties, of a nonprofit group that is reaching out to the veteran community and say, we're here to help you, we'll train you, we'll provide everything for you that you need to become successful.
Right.
So, Jeanine, if someone would like to get a hold of you, what's your phone number?
650-378-7282.
And now we are going to have a look at the New York Gala and hear from some of the students from the first graduating class in New York City. Thank you so much.
Yay!
Honestly, before NPower, I didn't know where I was going. I had no real direction. And because of NPower and their staff and their program, this is the reason I have a career.
NPower is really focused on building tech skills, giving opportunity to people, and we do it in a very unique way by engaging the corporate tech community. We think it's very high value social impact.
The Technology Service Corps program is a program that trains young adults in technology, of course, professional development, as well as personal development.
You just get so excited when you see these young people and these vets transform themselves through our program.
1 year post-graduation, our students, 80% of them are either in school or working.
The tech world is getting involved, not only because it feels good, they recognize there's a skills gap.
The majority of these companies, it's not their fault, but they don't get to see common folk like me. They don't know the potentials we have because they don't have a connection to us. NPower became that bridge for me to move forward.
It's more about learning how to learn than necessarily what you're learning in the classroom. What you're learning is important, but they teach you how to learn new things and how to grow.
I've met students who go to class during the day and work overnight. It's really, really impressive to see that. And many of them have actually said that this has really been a turning point in their life.
I think the most valuable aspect was definitely being trained on how to be a business professional.
One of my favorite things when the guest speakers came and talked to us, and you grabbed their card and you wrote them an email and they wrote back to you. I'm just a kid from Queens sometimes, I feel like, and it's like, oh, he's a CTO and he manages like all this information and, hundreds of thousands of people, but he stopped and answered my email. That's really cool.
The students themselves in our Harlem and Brooklyn classes here in New York are incredibly insightful. They bring a perspective that I don't live in.
Sometimes the most incredible ideas come from the very last person you'd expect.
The Veterans Program in Dallas is so important because, one, it's indicative of NPower diversifying the workforce that it's training, and what better way to diversify than targeting the veterans that have served our country and can be contributors to our workforce now, in addition to what they've done so well for us as a country.
The Community Corps, which is a skill-based volunteering program. It focuses on getting the tech community in to help nonprofits and schools.
As a nonprofit, you're at a disadvantage because you have no money for infrastructure, you have no money to build a distribution channel. It's fantastic that you can reach out to NPower.
It was the first time I'd ever heard of a not-for-profit enable the tech community to provide services in kind.
So having someone come in from the tech community and explain the intricacies of systems or software or the cloud is amazing for them, and it can be truly transformational.
Our employees have worked on more than 60 projects, and that's resulted in over $1 million of social value.
Bella Communities, working with Tata, they were able to really revolutionize their website and make it so much more impactful.
Really being able to tap into that expertise and walk away with something concrete was really great.
What NPower does is sources technology professionals, where I'm bringing sort of the school side. We both have come to the table knowing that we have to increase the capacity of schools. We knew that New York Life was interested in doing a career day for women in tech.
They were able to learn about graphic design, about filming commercials. There were so many girls that just said, you know what, I wouldn't think these people were like me, but they are.
And it's actually, it behooves corporations to get involved in education because it allows them to actually communicate to the educators, this is the type of workforce we need.
Because our business community is going to be dependent upon that diverse perspective in the marketplace, nor allow our business to grow.
It's a great platform for technology executives to help their organization gain community engagement.
"2015 is going to be an incredibly exciting year. We're going to graduate our first class out of Toronto. Ryerson University, one of the top tech universities in North America, has agreed to partner with us around space. We're going to launch the San Francisco program. We are partnering now with the San Mateo Community College. We're right across the hall from the Veterans Center, So the partnership there is pretty exciting. We're going to graduate our Symantec cybersecurity program folks.
16 weeks training includes 3 certifications. So that's Network Plus, Security Plus, Certified Ethical Hacker, and last but not least, an internship and hopefully a job opportunity.
Everyone can get engaged, whether you like mentoring, whether you like speaking at a classroom, whether you're a nonprofit that needs help. Absolutely every single person in this audience can get engaged.
There's just no group of people that are better positioned to further the cause than this community.
I actually grew up in a lower income environment. There were community leaders that helped introduce me to technology. I'm very proud and honored to be able to contribute and give back in that regard.
Don't give up on underprivileged youth. We just want the opportunity to learn. We want the opportunities to show everyone out there, hey, we can be just as a hard worker as any common person you hire.
The thing I love about NPower the most is, we build technology skills. And when someone says that, they're like, oh, why is that important? Because skills and knowledge help change the world. And isn't that what everyone wants to do when they're a little kid, just change the world?